What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helgarahi.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Dahnans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegis. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Dahnan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to this thing. Ready, fly! Come on! It's over!
I'll smash you!
Double demon fang! Ready, fly! His head is his weak point?
You'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Corruption!
You picked the wrong fight!
Fair enough!
Double demon fang!
Lightning! This one's mine! That'll bring you down!
Flew away!
Negative
Flew away!
There you go!
Flew away!
Thunder field! Air corruption! More with
Take
by the
this!
power of water!
I can carve through armor!
Don't mind if I do! Searing flame! Reload the wind! Feel! Let's get you all tucked away!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Searing flame! Reload!
Prepare to
Almost
receive!
banana!
Flew away!
Take this!
Lightning!
Double demon fang!
Radiant light! Searing flame! It looks like you got this one covered! Mega ray! Sweet now! Searing flame! I'm saving! I'm out of ammo!
You're
Back
mine!
into the fray!
You're finished!
Laser charges to me! Annihilation!
Double demon fang!
Eat dirt!
Take this!
Do it now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Glacial spear!
You're mine!
Take
Thank
this!
you! You're mine!
Armor won't save you!
Strike! Burn!
Illuminate the dark!
You're mine!
Holy land!
Here I come!
Can't get out of this!
You're
By
finished!
the power of water!
You're mine! Flew away!
Go get it! Here goes! Here's a healing arc!
Flew away!
Not in your dreams!
Raining flash!
The enemy is going all out! Lunar corruption!
Flew away!
By the power of the dark! Maybe show Kisara a little kindness, huh?
She is strong. She can handle herself.
You can be really dense, though, Helene. I'll heal you all!
Try harder!
Dance in the wind!
It's too much!
Healing here!
Elusive deity! I can carve through armor!
Try harder!
Tornado
This
drive!
one's mine! Holy land! I can do this all day!
Rending you apart!
Double demon!
In a bind?
Healing circle!
Raining
Leap now! Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, you too. That move.
Here comes the big one!
Elusive deity!
Raining I've been hit with something!
So even a masochist has his limits.
Not feeling so great. This one's all mine! Ignite!
Lightning radiant! This one is almost in the bag.
Not done yet.
Feel.
Just falling back.
Then it's time for you to do what you do best.
I'm not done! Shine! Radiant light! Force of regeneration!
They're not playing around.
Blow away!
Don't suffer.
Can't get out of this!
Lightning to down. Back into
No
the
escape!
Let them illuminate the magic dam. Annihilation. Hear me,
Here I come! Shine! It's over!
Glacial spear.
Regenerate!
Freeze Lancer.
I owe you one! Here I come!
Illuminate the dark.
I'll face you!
Holy Fire.
Radiant rare! Burn! Benediction light!
There. Let's go.
Heal! Double demon fang! I'll smash you!
Ready
I'll face you!
Far enough.
Catapult!
New leaf on life.
You're finished!
Coming through.
Seismic rupture! Take this! I don't know what I'd do without you.
It's about to strike. Perhaps now isn't it? Now. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests. What do you mean? You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helgarahi been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dominium's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's...
I've got a really bad feeling about this. Here I go. Go! And again!
Blow away! Ready to rock!
Order require complete focus.
How art is being interrupted.
Here I come! This one's all mine! You picked the wrong
Exploit the
fight!
enemy's weakness.
Photon lightning condensed. Healing thunder blade.
Blow away!
Illuminate the dark.
Ready, stop!
Anything in order is all mine! Not even the net anything!
Blow away!
Light after raging cascade! Sealed! Get on in there with the others!
Take this!
Whoa! Hey, one at a time!
So you clamor for my true power?
Raging
Power
cascade!
surges through me. Negative inside is yours to be let free. Blood.
I'll be saving you!
Bloody hard! Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
Glacial spear! Here's evil! Here goes! Confiscated! Free blend! Raging storm! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Lightning orb! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dahna's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dahna's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dahna's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dahna exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dahna's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renasalma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come. To the real enemy.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll take you all on!
Let me see what I can do!
No escape! Raining!
Your wings won't save you from me! Raging storm!
Okay, here I go!
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Eat this!
Holy land!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! More Zuko's?
Keep calm and take them down!
No further! Blow away! Double demon fang!
Where are you going?
There is logic within your every
Do
move.
it! It'll take more than brute...
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Now!
I never
Certainly
miss.
not.
Burn!
Excellent technique.
Quit pushing yourself and get behind us!
I'll be right with Rena in no time! Go, Helene!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! I'll heal you all!
Let me breathe.
Here goes my healing dazzle!
Here I go!
Illuminate blah blah blah!
Dragon swarm!
Holy land! Glacial spear! Here's evil!
Negative gate!
Freeze laser! I'll heal you all! Now, astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory! Naturally!
Victory is within reach.
Dig deep, and we can do this!
Impressive fervor, little one.
Eat dirt! Right after you going! Blah, 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 that's it! Now!
More of them? Armor won't save you! It's time!
I'm all stuffed up!
Take this!
Mega Ray! I'm ready! Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! More?
Flame of
Double
fury!
demon fang!
Elusive laser spear! Here's the evil! It's in the sky, it's mine!
Take this!
Sparkling stars of
It's
light!
over!
Rain down!
Raining slash!
Take hold!
Blow away!
Now!
Resonate with the
fang! You picked the wrong fight!
Here's a healing
Double
art!
demon fang! Okay, here I come. More?
Mega Ray!
Raining slash! Blow away! Raining slash!
Burning
Double
field!
demon!
This'll come in handy!
Here I come!
Sparkling stars
You're
of
finished!
light! Rain
Raining
down!
slash!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Radiant,
More?
hold on to your art! Here I come!
Here I come!
Ready and raring!
Lightning with
Now you see what I can do!
Raining slash! Come on! Raining slash!
Can't get out of
Holy
this!
land!
Ignite!
Here I go! Do
Double
it!
demon fang!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction!
There's still more to go!
Double demon fang!
Dance to the wind!
Raining
Air
slash!
blast! Photon
Double demon fang!
Here! This one's blah! I never miss! Frost and rain!
Rotating pile driver!
Lightning! Hear me! That'll bring you down!
Resonate with the
Now!
Stalagmite!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
On your knees!
Field!
Blow away! Double
Get on
demon
in there
fang!
with the others!
Let me dive
Gravitas field!
They smite with black and
Shining
gray!
into
Ready
Rena!
and raring!
Annihilation!
I'm ready!
It's showtime!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived.
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dahna's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helgarahi. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Linwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dahna and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dahna's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dahna while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dahna, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dahna and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helgarahi who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Xion. I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dahna and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist.
Okay, here I go.
By the power of water, send the rain. I'll shoot them out of the sky. Outstanding form. The flashing part's their weak point. Here's a healing art. I can't heal you forever.
Raining slash!
Radiant
Blow away!
Can't
Double
get
demon
down.
fang! Elusive demon! Pissed off!
Fury.
Burn in hell!
Burning strike. Raging
Begin!
storm.
Double demon fang!
Close flight.
Raining slash!
Hear me.
Blow away.
Fury.
Double
Leave
demon
the
fang!
enemy's arms to me. It's in the sky. It's mine.
No
I'll be
complaints
saving
here.
this one.
Take this!
Can't
Double
get
demon
down.
fang!
More with that here's evil. Free pleasure.
Here I come! Elusive
Radiant
demon!
blessing.
It's wide open!
It won't escape me.
Save you! Blow away!
Lightning
Raining
orb.
slash.
Raging cascade.
Blow away! Pissed off!
Flame of
Burn in
fury.
hell!
Dance in the wind.
Sleep now.
Double demon fang! Okay, here I go!
Here's evil.
Blow away!
Rain down and here's come. Now, astral energy.
Say no more!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no... no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinner.